Hello, my curious souls. Welcome in or welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Amanda. It's an honor to read for you today. I hope you are all doing well and staying safe and looking after your well-being. In today's Pick a Card Tarot reading, we are going to take a look at some opportunities as well as some blockages that are getting in your way of moving towards these opportunities. These opportunities could be something you're currently looking at this present time or facing, or it's something that is coming towards you at some point. And we will look at the steps and the things and the actions that you can do in the meantime in order to fully prepare to step into these opportunities. As always with these readings, please trust your intuition and decide what feels best, and lovingly leave the rest. So if you feel ready to dive into your reading today, all of the timestamps for these soul paths are in the description box. However, for those who like an official introduction, let me do that right now. For Soul Path 1, we have the number 20 with Combat, Stand Your Ground, with the red agate stone. For Soul Path 2, we have the number 30 with Cleanse, Clear Space for Positive Energy, with the citrine stone. And for Soul Path 3, we have the number 19, Cut Off, Let Go of What No Longer Serves You, with the Desert Rose Quartz. And with that, when you feel called and ready to choose your soul path, hop down into the description box to find the timestamp for your reading, and we will see you over there. Hello, Soul Path 1, welcome into your reading. You chose the red agate stone with the Combat card, Stand Your Ground. To me, this is very Mars energy. It's also very Aries energy. This is standing up for what you believe in, standing up for what you feel is right. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in an aggressive pushback kind of way. This can be very diplomatic. It can be very firm, but loving. I feel like something here is possibly no longer fitting for you, and there's no life left in something here. And so this letting go of this thing that has no more life, I feel there might be a bit of tension with that, and I can't really pinpoint why, but you've identified something that has metaphorically died, and you somehow need to stand your ground in this feeling that you have, that this is no longer for me. Even though maybe logically, and maybe that's where the tension is that the logic, the intuition says this is no longer for me, but the logic is saying, but. Or maybe there's somebody in your life that is saying, yeah, but, and it's causing this combat or this tension or this strife. I'm getting a lot of Five of Swords energy with this, so we'll see if that comes out. I'm also seeing the Seven of Wands in my mind's eye, where you are kind of fighting this battle on your own, and so there's a little bit of isolation happening because nobody seems to see things from your perspective, but you know in your heart that this is the right action, this is the right decision, this is the right move for you. And eventually I feel like if there's anybody pushing back or opposing your decision or what you're doing, I feel like they will start to see how this is all unfolding. You see it, but they don't. So I feel like there's a natural concern there. So I feel like this combat, if it has something to do with other people, comes from a place of love. For a small percentage of you, it could be coming from a place of jealousy as well. So just be aware of that. All the more reason to stand up for what you want, what you need, your desires, your dreams. because there could be some in the collective, small percentage, who are dealing with people who don't have their best interests at heart. So it benefits this other person for you to stay in this dead zone, metaphorically speaking. Okay, so let's see what comes forward in the tarot. I do want to get some oracle cards first, though. Let's see, what do I want? Yes. Okay, let's see. We got an extra card in there from another deck. So let's get 2 cards for Soul Path 1, please. What is this? Stand your ground. Okay, here and now. Something could be happening presently, in the present. Aha, okay. So we have the number 32 with the here and now. We have the number 20 with imagine. Number 20 could be very significant because we have it here and we have it in your opening card. So that could be a number that you're really gravitating towards. You could be seeing the number 20 a lot, or the number 2. You do have 2, 3 times in this reading, 4 times when we're looking at the bottom of the deck as well. So I do feel like there's some kind of choice that you are making, and it could be quite a difficult choice, but an expansive choice. And it is a choice that is possibly going to offer you a sense of battle, a sense of change and challenge. But I feel like it's going to crack something open for you or give you some sense of expansion. It's going to be a choice that breaks you free from some kind of stagnation, some kind of stuckness, or some kind of cycle. So I am seeing the 8 of Swords in my mind's eye, as well as, coming back to that Wands energy. We do have the number 7 when we add this up, and 7 is that energy. It can be an energy of assessment. It can be an energy of that pushing back or opposition. It can also be a setback as well. So there's this, it's kind of like a turning point on the timeline where we choose to step back or we choose to push forward. So I do feel like there's some choice that's happening in regards to that. And we do have another number 5 here when we do add the 2 and the 3 up. So lots of choices. There's a little bit of change and a little bit of tension as it pertains to those choices, but it's going to open you up to new expansion here. And this requires you to be very present in this particular moment and not projecting into the future, not having illusions about what could happen, what will happen, what needs to happen. So there's a little bit of flexibility happening, being in this present moment and just seeing how things go and moving with whatever needs to happen rather than imagine something that may not happen, or giving yourself that sense of tension before anything really comes to pass, because it may not. This may be an internal tension that you're feeling because you are projecting into the future too much, or you are planning the future based on some kind of past event or experience, which I feel is a natural thing. That's how we kind of predict certain patterns and certain outcomes. But I feel like because this choice is being made from a different place, that possibly the outcome and the results and the feedback that you get might be different. If not, then I feel like your approach to this particular tension that might be coming back from the past, you're not going to let it hinder your way forward. So there's going to be this opportunity to stand your ground, where I feel like you might have feared that before, but you're stepping up into this present moment and understanding that you are in a different place right now. You are trying to break free from a cycle. And so there's almost a no going back. Like, you have to push forward in this. Because I sense that you are imagining a new future. You are imagining something greater than where you are and where you've come from. And being very present in this moment allows us to make choices based on where we would like to go, rather than have the past dictate that for us, and or rather than having us kind of predict the future based on those past experiences. So I feel by being very present in the here and now, you will be able to assess and be aware of the actions that you need to take and the choices you want to make, by stepping back to understand where is it that I want to go and what choice in this moment now best aligns with that, regardless of whatever noise is happening in the outside realms for you at this time. And if you are concerned about the tension you might face when making new choices, I want you to imagine being on the other side of that tension. If you were to break through, there's like a wall, and that I feel you have to break through or jump over or move around. But it is what is standing in the way of you and your imagination, or where you would like to go from here. Sort of this higher self, this exalted form, or this exalted expression of who you would like to become, is just beyond this tension. So it's almost like a don't back down energy. Again, stand your ground to fight for that exalted expression, fight for that higher self, or that new life that you are trying to build for yourself. Push beyond that barrier. And I feel like right now, that is your opportunity, is to stand up rather than back down. But we will get into the cards now to see what they have to say. We are going to do the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith tarot. Let's get some details, please, Spirit, for Soul Path 1. And I do feel you have the energy and strength for this, if you had any question about it. But you're feeling quite small at the moment in comparison to how big this obstacle feels. But this is these are the steps to take. So opportunities, current opportunities, and the blocks. We're going to look at that. Okay. So all of these are in reverse. There's a lot of energies that are not quite ready to be expressed yet. So there could be a blockage to doing so, or there could be a lack of readiness. It might not be quite the right time. However, we have the Magician in the reverse position. We have the Page of Wands in the reverse position. And we have the Queen of Swords in the reverse position. So, where there's blockages, there's going to be opportunities, is the first message that I'm getting. There's also some creative blocks of not being able to envision your future and not having a clear view of what decisions you need to make in order to get there. Now, there could be some emotions that are happening and bubbling up because of this. You might be feeling emotionally drained, which could be part of the underlying energy of why these are blocked, of why you might not be able to unlock a specific opportunity, is because there's possibly a lack of readiness. There could be a lack of direction or focus at this time. There could be some other things at play that are pulling your attention, and you're not able to bring 100% focus to where it is you would like to go. The opportunities to create are here, to have a vision for the future and step into an energy where you're really clear and you're able to make decisions. You're able to set healthy boundaries, and you're able to be a little unapologetic about the decisions that you're making. Now, this could be, again, I just feel like this energy is not quite ready to be unlocked. And I think it has to do with how you feel about this tension, this energy, and this opportunity that is being overshadowed by this big wall or big mountain. It's almost like you're seeing this as proof that this expression or this opportunity is not for you, because you cannot see how to get there yet. You cannot see how to create from this space yet. but that doesn't mean it's not available for you. I feel like, again, you have to challenge that energy that wants to push you back and keep you where you are. Now, there could be something that you need to learn first. The magician can speak to pulling in all of your resources to make something happen, to create something, and bring something of your highest vision into form. But when it's in the reverse, it's like there's something missing. And I have a feeling it's this Ace of Cups in reverse, because we have all of the elements here. We've got swords, wands, cups, and pentacles. And we almost have all of the energy here on the table here as well. Wands, swords, and cups, but they're all in reverse. And we're missing the pentacle energy. So there's this feeling of maybe needing to have a stronger vision about what you see in this particular space, where your expression, your creative expression, your vision of the future, your imagination doesn't quite exist yet. But that doesn't mean it can never come into form. So it's about pulling in your energy, because your energy could be a little scattered right now, and being open to exploring, being open to create and experiment, and to get a little maybe messy in the process and not really have a plan at the moment. Allow yourself to wander a little bit. But also be mindful of not scattering your energy in 100 different places. I feel like your energy needs to be really focused. So if your goal is to do something with your career, then what is that ultimate goal that you're trying to achieve, and what can you explore and experiment with as it pertains to that career path that you can get a little flexible and messy with? And spend the time to be able to explore that on a deeper level, and maybe unearth some emotions or some new ideas about how to get there and what your blockages are. Now, there could be a lack of boundaries when it comes to where your energy goes and the things that you create. So I feel like there needs to be a strong sense of healthy boundaries and what those are, but you may need to understand first where there is a lack of boundaries and how you feel because of those lack of boundaries. It could be in relation to your parents, it could be in relation to your family, your friends, your boss. But there may need to be a more clear line in the sand of where those boundaries are, so that you can dedicate time and space and energy towards the things that you want to move towards. Now, you could be going through something emotional as well, or feeling really drained. So replenishing your energy is sort of going to be a number one priority to bring things back into balance and really bring your focus in. So if you're feeling distracted, again, it's about having those boundaries and understanding about what those distractions are, so that you can identify and eliminate what's distracting you, what's pulling you away, what's not feeling inspiring, what's emotionally overwhelming you, that you can logically move away from at this time, and be really present. Because I feel your energy is kind of scattered, it's kind of out there, and it's not in the heart space at the moment. And I think it needs to come back to the heart space, sort of as a first step. So pulling your energy back in. We're not getting clarifiers. I would like to get more guidance on how to remove the blocks and step into opportunity. So 3 cards, please, for Soul Path 1. Patience and detachment from many outcomes. Detachment of how you think the process should be, or where you think things need to go. And so there's a sense of flow. A sense of flow that needs to happen, because there could be some rigidity. So we have the Lovers card. We have the 3 of Wands in the reverse. And we have the Strength. I think it was in reverse. but apologies if it wasn't. And my cuff happened to move it in the reverse. And then we have the Three of Swords in the reverse at the bottom of the deck. So, yes, there's something definitely that you're moving through in the heart space that needs to be released first, possibly healed from first, and let go of. And I feel like you need to replenish and restore yourself from this energy before you can start looking to your future. This could be a relationship that you just broke up from. This could be a betrayal of some kind. This simply could just mean something didn't work out, and it hurts your heart that it didn't work out in the way that you wanted. So I'm almost getting a little bit of discouragement here. But coming back into some of the guidance now is the Lover's energy. This is about choices that align to our highest good, towards our highest goals for ourselves, that really bring into balance the divine masculine of that action and that passion and willpower, as well as the divine feminine of allowing and receiving and being open to new experiences, to new feelings, to new ideas, new inspirations. And so it's really finding that balance within ourselves. And I did speak to a romantic relationship very briefly because we have something in the heart space that is blocked, or there's something in the heart space that needs to be moved through. A replenishing of the heart space, a reconnection to the heart space. And then we have the literal heart here on this card, but there's swords in it. This is in the reverse position as well. So I feel like there's something heavy on your heart, and you need to remember, especially if this is a relationship, because we do have the Lovers out here. I feel like you are wanting to move towards a higher expression of love in romantic relationships, maybe even a more mature relationship, something that you can really commit to and enjoy. And possibly the relationship that you're in, if this is a relationship reading, I don't know, didn't allow you to move towards that. There could have been a lot of scattered energy, possibly a lot of immaturity on the other person's part, and you weren't able to create something together. You had a vision of what you wanted, but this other person possibly didn't have the same vision. It's about remembering and reconnecting with your vision of the future as it pertains to the relationship with yourself, as well as the relationship that you might have with friends or a romantic partner. What is that vision, and how can you find somebody that matches that vision, that will be a partner along that path? And with the Three of Wands in reverse, there's some frustration that you haven't been able to manifest. But again, it's about being patient and turning within to look at your manifestations, to look at what you want to manifest, why you want to manifest, what values and beliefs and stories do you have to hold and trust and believe in order for that manifestation to come to be. What actions would you take? How would you feel when this manifestation arrives? So there's some reconnection that I feel is coming through here. There's an energy of, is this actually going to happen for me? It's all on what you believe, and coming back to your why, and imagining this greater thing, believing that you are worthy of this greater thing. Maybe you've tried something over and over and over again, and you're getting the same results. Something's not working out in your favor. So we have to ask the bigger question, why? Am I in balance with my divine feminine, divine masculine? Do I have healthy boundaries? Have I healed from past heartbreaks or heartaches or pains that I've experienced that have hurt me? So I think that is part of that stand your ground, is that you have to stand your ground for what you want to happen, but also the beliefs that are getting in your way of that. not just the circumstances that might be challenging you or the people that might be challenging you. I feel like this is stuff within, especially because we have so many reversals. This is internal work that I feel is coming through here. And then we have the strength in reverse, which is to build up your strength again, to build up your confidence, your leadership, your courage, your fortitude, to stand up and to push back on anything that is not this highest expression. I think it's really cool that this Lover's card is the only upright. This tells me that it is possible for you, this higher expression of love for self, for someone else, and vice versa. This love for whatever it is you do in your career, your business, your job. But there's some internal work. There's an opportunity here to have it, but there's some internal blockages that are preventing you from moving forward. So it's about standing up to those blockages, about really facing those. Standing up for something doesn't necessarily mean going on a march or shouting your opinions and advice and values from the rooftop. This is pushing back and challenging those beliefs, that tension that you're feeling between what it is you want and what it is that's saying that you can't have it. Why? What is the story from the past? Where did that story come from? How did it develop? Bringing that awareness and learning, being open to learning where that story comes from, allows you to change the story moving forward. So there's great opportunity in this moment to heal some past wounds and to really start to move into this divine love for self, maybe to empower yourself to be able to push beyond whatever blockages are in your way at this time. So, final advice for Soul Path 1. Final advice for Soul Path 1, please. Final advice for Soul Path 1. I'm hearing the song Communication Breakdown in my mind's eye, or in my mind. And we have 52, Hidden Knowledge, Akashic Records, and Silent Understanding. Hidden knowledge is really standing out to me because I feel like that's what this is all about, is there is some knowledge within you that you don't quite see yet or don't quite understand. And I think this process is allowing you, this opportunity is allowing you to unearth this hidden knowledge. And death and rebirth. Darkness to light with the number 19. Number 19, the Soul Path, which was the cut off card. Did I say Soul Path 3? Has the number 19 in it. So you might want to check that out. It might have some more messages for you. But this is turning your darkness into light. And this is transformative energy. This is essentially the death card. In spirit. It is about transforming and transmuting old pains, old hurts, old heartaches into something that you can use to your benefit rather than having it keep you in the dark. This is imagining something new for yourself and unearthing knowledge that you didn't know existed. You did, but it hasn't come to light yet. So I feel like this is a lot of deep inner work that I feel is kind of required, but there's a beautiful opportunity to unearth something that will empower you and help move you forward into embracing whatever new opportunity is ahead here. So I would suggest to maybe try to gain some knowledge from this particular situation and to look at the dark parts, the unsettling parts, the uncomfortable parts, and those beliefs. I think beliefs have a big part in this, because we have brilliant beliefs on the bottom of the deck: luminous life force and personal power. I think that your beliefs can be transmuted and transformed. There's a death and rebirth that I feel are also happening with your beliefs here as well, where they then become brilliant. And what I love about this too is that you've got 2 black panthers here, and you have 2 white tigers here. So again, we have that transformation of darkness to light, of beliefs that are keeping me held back and small and not able to step into a higher self or an improved situation. I think it does stem back to your beliefs and what you are confident in, what you can create or not. And I think that's part of the strength card, is you need to reconnect with that strength and confidence again within yourself, and tame the wild parts of you that are trying to keep you held back. And that becomes your personal power, is when you step into or see those beliefs, you learn about those beliefs. And once you learn about them, you're then able to rewrite them and turn them into something brilliant for your future. So this is what I have for you, my dear Soul Path 1. I do hope that was helpful for you and these messages resonated. Let me know in the comments if you feel called to do so. And with gratitude, I'm sending you my love. Stay curious, and we'll see you in your next reading. Hello, Soul Path 2. Welcome into your reading. You chose the citrine stone with the cleanse card, number 30, clear space for positive energy. So I feel like the opportunity will come in when the energetic space is cleared. I feel like there could be a lot of to-dos. You could have a busy schedule. You could need to clear out some things in your home or clean up your home so that you can invite new things in, or have some sort of, there's some clearing that's happening. This could also be energetic cleansing as well. So there could be some blocks to preventing you from really capturing an opportunity, or really being able to fully invest in this opportunity. An example I'm getting, a very basic example, is that you work 40 to 50 hours a week, and let's say you also have children, or you also have dogs to take care of. There's a caretaker aspect coming through. So there's already a lot on the plate with those 2 things. And maybe you want to start a side business, or you want to take a workshop or a course based on something that you're interested in. This could just be for fun, or it could be to follow a new career path. So there needs to be, I want to say boundaries, but that's not the right word for that. There needs to be some kind of limit to how much work you take on, how much overtime you do, so that you have the space to allow yourself to explore this new path, whatever it is. So maybe if you have a partner, you can rely on them to do some of the heavy lifting one night a week. Or there could be some kind of arrangements you can make on the weekend where the children, let's say, go to their friends' houses or their grandparents or aunts or uncles, so that you can have some time, to clear out some space and carve out some space for something that you would like to pursue. So let's take a peek at the tarot. But first, actually, we're going to look at oracle cards to maybe get a glimpse into these opportunities, or maybe possibly some blocks that are getting in your way. We will see. So for Soul Path 2, let's talk about the opportunities. Opportunities. Oh my gosh. You're funny, Spirit. And then we laughed. It's so funny. One more, please, Spirit. I don't think there's another broom in this deck. Okay, so yeah. All right, so there's chop wood, 42 with a broom. And we have breathe, 29. These could be important numbers for you, or they could just be part of the reading. You have a couple of 2s here, so that tells me that there's some decisions that are going to be required in order for you to move into some kind of new opportunity. And when we speak to 3s, that's expansive energy, so something does want to expand, but there needs to be that clearing of space. And when we talk about clearing of space with both the brooms here, we have space to breathe, we have space to think, we have space for stillness and for creation, whatever that might be. So I almost wonder too, for some in the collective, that the opportunities will come in during moments of nothing, during moments of boredom, during moments of stillness. And sometimes in this crazy wild world we live in, a lot of us don't give ourselves time to do that and to get bored. There's always something pulling our attention, whether that is children, whether that is the tasks that we need to do during the day or at work. And one thing that has helped me is if I get a thought of, oh, I need to do this, if it's not necessarily a priority in that particular moment, I'll write it down so that I can tackle it later, and so that I can give myself some breathing room to just sit for 5 minutes, to have a tea very mindfully for 15 minutes, to just enjoy watching the birds outside in my garden, or to meditate, to exercise, to read, to create. So there's something about creating space for something, to create space to breathe, to listen, to settle, because it's so easy for us to get swept away in the to-dos of life, and we get burnt out, we get bogged down, we get tired, we get irritable, and that really hinders our creative process, that really hinders kind of being our best selves, because our energy is so drained. Now we have a number 4 here, which is about foundations and home, possibly family. But to me, this is, I do get very strongly for some in the collective here that there is a home cleanse that needs to happen. So maybe some spring cleaning is happening. You're letting go of some things that are just collecting dust or no longer resonate with you, or some old clothes. Maybe you're recycling some fabric, or you're doing some recycling, etc. So there's something about clearing out space. And there's opportunity that's going to happen in this space, and I'm not sure what opportunity it is. And the number 9, so there's some kind of cycle that's coming to an end, that needs to come to an end because it can no longer sustain in the way that it has. So I feel like you're going to be setting up on a new path, a new pace is what I'm hearing. It's no longer about all of the to-dos and the chores and the things that you have to do in a day. It's about having more of a balance, having more of a harmony between the divine masculine of doing and the divine feminine of being. And when we add the 4 and the 2, it comes back into that balancing energy of the 6 and the celebratory nature of the number 6 as well. And then 9 and 2 is 11, which again, there's that mirroring aspect, that balancing aspect. That's also the Justice card as well, which also speaks to balance and fair judgment, fair decisions. And when we add the 1 and the 1, we get another number 2. So there's a number of 2s here in your reading. And the possible blockage maybe is your loyalty to certain things. So once you commit yourself to something, you are kind of a ride or die. You never back down, you never let up, you never change course. And that's a beautiful thing to have. But there comes a time where there might be moments where we can't do overtime all the time. We can't be that person that, our boss leans on to pick up the extra slack. Sometimes we do need to have that boundary in place to say, I can no longer do 50, 60 hours a week. I'm getting an Erin Brockovich scene in my mind's eye where I think she says that she has to cut back on her hours, and she cuts back to something like 50 hours a week or something. Or no, pardon me, it's not Erin Brockovich. It's Sex and the City, where Miranda has a baby and she's being, depended on, her loyalty to her firm because she's trying to make partner, or she is partner at that time. I can't remember, but there's this loyalty to her work. She loves it so much. That's part of her identity. And so she works a lot. But when she has a baby, her priorities shift. And so she's given this opportunity, even though she might not like it, to change pace, to be able to not work as much, and to pull back to 50 hours a week, tops, max. So I feel like that's kind of what's happening here, where there's a loyalty to something and maybe you feel like you can't change or you can't reprioritize things. I think that might be false. But let's get into the details of the opportunities that are happening for you right now. And I'm already fumbling and stumbling with the cards, so there could be some fumbly energy going on because there's something here that can no longer sustain in the way that it has. Something has to give is what I'm hearing. So let's get 3 cards for the opportunities, and maybe some blocks will come out as well. Opportunities and the blocks. Okay. Beautiful. Ace of Cups on the bottom of the deck there. And we have the Judgment card. We have the Queen of Cups card. And we have the Hierophant in reverse. So he stands out to me the most because it's exactly what we just talked about. We have to push back against the standard norms of what we're being expected to do. We have to be willing to push the boundaries a little, push our own boundaries, do something a little unconventional for a time. And that is also an opportunity, but it could also be a block as well, because we've done something possibly in a very structured way. We show up all the time, we're committed, we're loyal. But I think there's a call for something new here, because something new has developed. You're having new feelings about something. And maybe possibly you want to find activities or find experiences that make you feel full and make your heart really sing. And maybe there's something here that's feeling really heavy, or there's some dead weight that needs to be cleared. So this is that clearing of that space. Could be in the heart space. Speaking of that, we do have the Queen of Cups, who is about the emotions, about being open to hold space for her emotions, other people's emotions, being this lovely, sensitive soul who is mothering and caring and kind and compassionate, but also needs to be that for herself just as much as everybody else. So that could be part of this as well, is to create this space for you just as much as you're creating for others, whether that's emotional space to work through challenging emotional times, or space to really hear yourself think, to receive. This is very similar energy to me, where it's just being in her own feelings, in her own emotions, in her own imagination and psychic abilities even. And that is what I think is going on underneath this all, is there's an opportunity to turn the focus onto self. And so there needs to be space cleared for self, whatever it is that you want to engage in. Because again, I feel like there's this compression of time happening, and you're trying to fit everything in and everyone in, but there's no space for you. So I feel like there's opportunity in that. And new opportunities will come when you allow yourself the space to open up to a little more self-care. And self-care is a practice, and it is an action. It's not necessarily a feeling. And And that requires us to do something different because we've done something, possibly the opposite of that for so long. It's going to require a break in convention and being okay with that discomfort. The Judgment card, it's interesting that I'm working my way back this way. It's almost like there needs to be a work back of how you got to this place so that you can catch yourself before you get to this place down the road. I almost wonder if this could be a cycle or a pattern that you find yourself in, a bit of an ebb and a flow. And I feel you want to be in more flow, but in order to do that, you must remove the dam, remove the blocks in doing that. So I feel like working backwards, looking at something from where it all started and how it all started and why it all started this way might help you understand your choices, how you're making choices, how you're thinking about things and how you're feeling about things, especially when you think about doing something different, what bubbles up. Judgment, this is an opportunity to kind of rise above your current situation and to make the changes that you would like to see, to rise above the adversity that you're feeling, possibly of this compacted schedule, and how to break free from that. How do I get into a little bit more flow rather than having life kind of dictate what I do, or having a boss or a job or whoever kind of dictate where I need to be at what time and what I need to do in that space. There's a feeling of maybe lack of control. And so this is kind of getting that control back a little bit, getting a little more of you back is what I'm feeling with that. And this is Pluto energy as well. So this is big energy that really shakes things up. And it calls you to do bigger things. There's a higher calling here, a calling to do something for your greater good. This is also before the World card. So this is like the big energy before the end of a tough cycle or before the end of a cycle. But it requires a little bit of you kind of hearing the call, and the only way to do that is to get a little quiet. Because it's, like I said, it's so easy to get swept up, but when we come into that stillness and in our own energy, kind of shutting out the distractions and the rest of what the world needs for a moment, for a time, to really understand how can I best serve that world by caring for myself. What is it that I need? It's kind of like putting your mask on before putting the mask on other people in when we're flying. And there's that safety protocol. But Pluto's a great renewer. It might shake things up and churn things up, but it promises change. And that can be both terrifying and exciting at the same time. It's going to require you to really connect into your needs. And that might be a challenging thing. But there's a huge opportunity in that because it balances the scales again. I'm getting Justice card. So let's take a look now at some guidance on how you can kind of embrace this a little if it's resonating for you. How can you embrace the opportunities more and remove any blocks? How can you embrace these opportunities? Page of Pentacles in the reverse. 2 more. 1 more. One more. Okay. With the 4 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. I think a lot of the answers you seek lie in your emotions and how you feel about something, what you feel to be true for you. Because we have the Queen of Cups, the Ace of Cups, the 4 of Cups, and the 8 of Cups. So there's a lot of emotions that are involved that I feel have been trying to tell you something, but maybe because you've been plodding along, those emotions may have gone ignored or they may have been suppressed. There's a little bit of a disappointment or you putting your emotional energy into things that are unfulfilling. So again, I feel like there's a loyalty coming through with that. And I just get such a warm, loving energy from you that I feel this comes so naturally that I almost want to protect it, because there's a vulnerability in that. There's a vulnerability for the wrong people to take advantage. And I say that, I'm looking at the Emperor in reverse. And that's a big, big energy. This is somebody that kind of rules the roost. And in the reverse, he can be a little bit of a jerk. He can be controlling. He can be manipulative. And that can be a really challenging thing for somebody who is so sensitive and wants to care for others, that wants to be that safe space for others, that wants to be helpful, that is compassionate, that is empathetic. So there's a protectiveness around your energy at this time, I feel, that you need to understand, because that could be a block to keeping you from moving into opportunities that are fulfilling, that are rewarding, that really fill you up, that really recharge you. Because I feel you're so giving that that it threatens your well-being. So part of that advice is to, or guidance with this card, the underlying energy is to look at the areas in life that you are emotionally investing yourself in and are not feeling fulfilled. So maybe you are saying yes to something when you really want to say no, but you say yes out of obligation and that loyalty. And again, we look at this cup here, which is this cup similarly. And there's an opportunity to do something new here. There's an opportunity to feel differently. But it comes down to the choice that we make to step into the discomfort and shaking up the status quo, shaking up our status quo. So what does it mean when you maybe have some boundaries or protect your energy? Saying no, having more self-care. Do you feel you're able to do that without guilt, without shame, without feeling like you need to earn that time? Now with the Page of Pentacles in reverse, and again, it's weird, I'm going backwards, although I'm kind of skipping here because I didn't talk about the Eight of Cups. I feel like that's the final period on the sentence here, so I'm going to leave that. This Page of Pentacles is in reverse, which tells me there's a reevaluation of goals that is required and an adjustment in your approach. I also feel that there is a need to focus on what's most important for you in this moment in time, and that might require you to step into a little bit of a rebellion mode. Again, coming back to that Hierophant in reverse, where you have to do things that are a little bit differently and rebel against that status quo. And to me, this comes back to clearing the space to be able to see this. There's a value here, or there's a belief here. There's an opportunity to choose a new path, to take this pentacle, this value, this new belief, and running with it, committing to it. There's a fear of commitment to that new path. And it could be because of this Emperor. You might have to push up against or clear out this Emperor energy. Now, if this isn't a person, this could also feel like, if I take this path, I don't know where it's taking me. I don't know what the results are going to be, and therefore it makes me feel out of control, which might be a trigger for you. But I feel it all comes back to not thinking about the details of it, but checking in with how you're feeling. Am I feeling drained? Am I feeling overwhelmed? Am I feeling in love with something? Am I feeling excited about something? And not to say that our feelings are always 100% right, but a lot of the times our heart never leads us astray. And I feel like there's a guidance here to listen to that heart of yours, because there are some emotions that are no longer serving you in this experience, and they're being asked to be let go of. to open yourself up to the new opportunities that are ready and waiting for you. I don't know if those are new relationships or just simply new feelings and values and beliefs that are going to come in as a result of letting this old stuff go. But it's going to require a little bit of a risk, both in this page energy and in this Eight of Cups, because it requires us to go on a quest and not have our destination known. So there's a sense of trust coming through, connecting in with our intuition to guide us along this way. And that could be a new experience for you in itself, where you are intuitively tapping into, okay, I've got this work to do, or I'm doing something in my job or career, and it's really not fulfilling me. It's really, there's something missing in this puzzle piece. So let's go and explore what that is. And that doesn't necessarily mean you leave the job, but you stop emotionally investing in the job or the career or the business so that you can explore what is going to fulfill you, what is going to make you feel uplifted and excited. But in order to do that, it requires space to breathe and allow that opportunity to happen. So I'm coming back to the beginning message again as we end this reading. But this quest is going to require you to get out of your emotional comfort zone, to change routine or habits or beliefs, maybe even changing how you feel as well. And taking a little bit of a risk, a little bit of an adventure. Oh my goodness. Spirit is funny tonight. So I'll tell you why in a sec. I'll get one more card to give you a final message for your reading. Okay. So we have Phoenix Rising, number 53, Soul Radiance. And we have Grateful Optimism, Joyous Views of the Future, 51. So I laugh because the Phoenix Rising is the judgment energy. It's that rising above adversity, challenge, change, hearing a higher calling, and rising above a difficult situation and being changed by that situation in the best way, but also taking the lessons from that situation, taking what you've learned, and not allowing this situation to define you, but to understand how you want to define your future, how you want to see your future unfold, and having this gratitude for a particular experience to show you the way. Also, being optimistic about what your future holds, because you essentially hold the key to that. There are some decisions that I feel you can make in this experience or in this particular situation that gives you the power back, that gives you a little bit of space for your own emotional well-being, for your own intuition to come through, for your own unearthing, for your own rising. And I love how these blue cards are really complementary to all of the water energy that's coming through, even in this Breathe card. So I feel like really giving yourself space to move through this transformation, to give yourself compassion and self-care as you do so much with others, is going to be really important. And to not be afraid of taking a little bit of risk when it comes to exploring what's going to fulfill you at the heart of hearts, and to be okay in the discomfort of the change. So this is what I have for you, my dear Soul Path 2. I hope this message resonated with you. You're welcome to share in the comments if it did. I would love to hear that. And with gratitude, I'm sending you my love. Stay curious, and I'll see you in your next reading. Hello, Soul Path 3. Welcome into your reading. You chose the Desert Rose Quartz with the Cut Off card, number 19, Let Go of What No Longer Serves You. We could all use a little bit of that. When I was shuffling your cards, I saw the Devil card. And shortly after, I was unable to talk, I got like a tickle in my throat and I went into some weird coughing fit. So it feels like there's somebody that is cutting you off from conversation, that is preventing you from speaking or shutting you down in some way. You're unable to share your voice. So this could be the energy that needs to be cut off itself, something that is cutting you off. Now, it's really weird. A lot of the opportunities tonight have been in the form of challenges or blocks. I don't know if that's the nature of opportunities or just the opportunities that are coming through for my collective today. But there's something here that's not serving you in a way, that is not allowing you to express yourself in full, that needs to be let go of or completely cut loose. That could be a person, it could be a situation, a job, it could be beliefs, values, habits. Could be a number of things, but we will get into this with details with the tarot. But first, I would like to pull some oracle cards to get a sense for what some of the opportunities might be. What are some of the themes of the opportunities and or blockages that we're looking at here? Soul Path 3. Okay. Okay. Funny. So we have the number 15, message in a bottle. This speaks to me about communication. So I do feel like there's some communication block, or there's somebody that's trying to block you from speaking, sharing. And maybe there's a vulnerability here. So maybe you've been attacked before, verbally attacked, for sharing, for speaking out, for standing up for something or someone. And because of that, you have muted yourself. You have prevented yourself from speaking. Whatever this is not for you. The number 6. And usually 6 is an energy of balance, but in this situation, it feels like it's a bit of a game. It's a bit of a game of chance. I'm getting somebody that is very two-faced. So 1 minute they're one way, the next minute they're something else. So you really don't know what to expect. You can't really be open with this person. And so this message in a bottle for me is like you need to bottle your feelings or bottle your opinions. It's a really awkward feeling, Soul Path 3. I'll share it, but I don't know if it's everybody's experience. There's this feeling of there's a fear about communication. There's a fear about sharing this experience. There's a fear of sharing your feelings, whether that be with a person or whether that be about this person to somebody else, because maybe there has been some threats of don't say this or don't share that with anybody. There's some ego involved on the other person's part. And I feel like they're playing games. So it's a really uncomfortable feeling, Soul Path 3. I'm sorry that you are here, if this is resonating with you. Now I'm trying to also feel out another scenario here. I do feel like there's a new beginning in this. I just don't know what that is. We've got a 1 here. We do have a 1 in this card here. We have a number 9, which is something is coming to a close or needs to be wrapped up. And we have a number 5, which is an energy of tension, change, challenge, discomfort, arguments, conflict. And then we have the number 6, which usually is about balance and rejoice, celebration, and reciprocity. But here I don't think, whatever this not for you is, it's not reciprocal. Maybe there's an illusion that it's reciprocal, but it's not. So I feel like whatever this is, I feel like you know what this is, and you don't have to share with me, but I feel like you know what this is, and there's like this energy of having to figure out the right moves or the right strategies to move away from this. Because I don't think that it's necessarily an easy task. So there's something secretive about this message in a bottle. And then we have blessed, which I was getting prayer energy from this. When people are in tough situations, they send out a prayer, or they write a letter and they bury it, or they burn it, or maybe they mail it to somebody. But that's the feeling that I'm getting, is that you can't quite communicate in a traditional way to somebody. So you have to find another means of communication, of getting this out, of expressing. It's a really interesting energy. But blessed to me, this is this prayer, and I feel like your prayers are being answered, your message will be received. I'm getting Forrest Gump in this for some reason. Dear God, make me a bird so I can fly far, far, far away from here. We do have 22 here, which could be some more numbers for you that are aligned. But again, there's some choices that are going to be required, and I think they're going to be a number of choices that you have to make, not just one single choice and then you kind of moved on. I feel like there's a number of choices that you're going to have to make, but I feel like there is good things on the other side of those choices. It just might be a little sticky as you move through that. Now, I will put an asterisk on this for anyone moving through domestic violence. There are some numbers and links below that I'm not affiliated with that can possibly offer you resources and help there. Now, number 2 and 2 is 4, and 5 and 1 is 6. So we have another number 6 reoccurring in this one. So I do think balance is coming back into play, but it's going to require you to move through some challenge. And 2 and 2 is 4, which speaks to finding foundations again, finding home again. So there could be a physical move happening for some people. And another number 4 just under that, out of curiosity, co-create. So this could be in collaboration with the universe, could be in collaboration with other people that are willing to assist you in this. Now, this could simply just mean that there are some people here in the collective who are in a situation like a job, for example, that doesn't allow them to express themselves in an authentic way. So maybe there's a lot of ideas that they have about something, and it's just somebody's hit a ceiling and they're unable to communicate. So maybe this is like you sending out resumes to job offers. And so that could be part of the opportunity, is you waiting for the call, waiting for a reply, and you sending these resumes out in the hopes to hopefully hear something back eventually. So yeah, there's a not for you energy here that I think you're moving away from, and an opportunity that I feel might take some time to unfold or progress or to see success from. But whatever this not for you energy, whether it's a person or situation, I feel that there needs to be a distance. And the candle just went out, so something here has reached its end point, or maybe you have burned out. So we're going to look at the opportunities now. Ace of Cups, so that's a really lovely energy. Ace of Cups came out in every single reading tonight, in different ways, in different positions, but... Oh, there we go. Okay, so there's an opportunity here. There's also a challenge here with the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. We talked about that. And we have our 4 of Wands in reverse. So we have the Cups energy, Ace of Cups. Oh, beautiful. 9 of Cups. I get a lot of wonderful energy from this. And then we have 6 of Pentacles in reverse and the 4 of Wands in reverse at the bottom of the deck. So we talked about home being disharmonious and not kind of unsettled, not happy. We see this here in the 4 of Wands. This isn't something that you kind of want to do for much longer. I feel like if this is a home that you share with somebody that you're attached to, I feel like there's just some disharmony in the home. There's an uprooting of foundations here, so that could indicate a move away from the home that you're familiar with. This could also be just not energetically connected to the person or spiritually connected to the person that you're with, and maybe the paths are going in different directions. So that could simply be very something that just happens naturally and there's no ill intent. And this is just something that you're coming to terms with and trying to figure out where home is, because you currently maybe don't feel at home. So the opportunity here is that there is some fresh new energy or a focus on your own feelings. This could be self-care. This could just simply be how you fill your cup up. And I think you're doing it. You're going to identify it in this space of whatever it is not for you. You're then finding what is for you. You're then finding what fulfills you. You're coming to this energy of, I need to take care of me. I need to find where I fit. Because where I currently am is, like we talked about, the Six of Pentacles in this Not For You card. It's an illusion that it's reciprocal. And I no longer want to be in an energy with a person or a situation where I'm not feeling fulfilled and I'm getting kind of crapped on top of it. Or I'm just being asked to do more. Nothing's ever good enough. So I'm giving and I'm giving and I'm emotionally investing and I'm energetically investing, and I'm just not, I'm being taken advantage of, or somebody is trying to control me in some way. So I'm going to do what's best for me. And that's a lovely, that's such a great energy. You're seeing the optimism in this. You're seeing the opportunity in this. I don't have to tell you. You already see the opportunity in this. And you are really connecting in with your emotional state in comparison to where you find yourself and how your time and energy and resources are being reciprocated or spent or returned to you. And if that is fair, if that is a fair exchange. I'm also getting that somebody isn't being paid well in their job. And so that could simply mean this isn't for me if they're not willing to compensate me fairly for, the industry and the market. I need to go somewhere where I feel fulfilled and valued. So that could be what this move is about, and what no longer serves you is that there almost feels like there's a promise of, oh, there'll be more, you'll get a promotion or you'll get a raise, and it never happens. So it's like they're dangling the carrot to keep you on board and never actually following through on their promises. So you're like, you know what, I'm going to take myself and I'm gonna go somewhere else with this. Maybe you have a lot of achievements. Maybe you feel really good and proud of what you have accomplished, maybe with this particular career path. But you're gonna take it somewhere else, where you are valued, where you are respected, where you are able to express yourself and communicate yourself without being stifled or held back. Really powerful. I think the little tiny block that I might see, if there was one, is you might be staying too long in a job or a career or a business or a relationship that isn't being reciprocal and you aren't feeling like it fits. So there might be something that you have to identify there and identify why. It could be different for a number of reasons. But maybe secretly you already know. And secretly, I mean, there's that inner wisdom that says, yeah, it's almost like you might be waiting for things to improve and it never does. So where's that breaking point of when do I make the decision to move on? So that will be unique to everybody. But let's get some guidance on how to move through this. Okay. Okay, one more. And the Knight of Wands in the reverse is at the bottom of the deck. So this guy, he's out of here. That's okay. We got some challenging energy here too as well, but also some good stuff. The Knight of Wands is this feeling of, well, when he's in the upright, he has a vision, he has a mission, he has a purpose, and he goes for it without any second thought about consequences of his actions. Because he's so passionate, things have to work out. In the reverse, he can be a little scattered, so maybe he's unable maybe there is a lack of direction here, and you're really not sure where to put your energy, how to put your energy, when to put your energy. And that could be in relation to a move, and that could be in relation to having your energy scattered so thin that you don't have the energy to kind of work through and move on from what you need to. So it's about kind of wrangling this energy a little bit to be able to prioritize what needs to be focused on, and maybe even reconnect with your new vision, your new purpose, a new goal, and redirecting your energy in that area, rather than having yourself spread too thin or to act impulsively and not have something work out because it wasn't thought through in a way that was mindful and intentional. So yeah, there just could be some scattered energy here, maybe a lack of direction. So we want to take pause on all action until we gain clarity, unless it's a situation that we have to get out of due to safety reasons. In that sense, we do have to GTFO. But I understand it's not always that cut and dry. So I'll just leave that there. 7 of Cups in the upright, 5 of Cups in the reverse, and Hermit in reverse for your guidance. So we love the 5 of Cups in reverse because this means that you are coming to terms with what's not going to be and what never was. So there's a grieving period that you're either currently in or you need to move through at some point. And I think you're going to fully embrace that because you understand that this is not, whatever the situation is not necessarily for you, and you have to move on from it for your highest good, to feel a different way, to have new experiences, and to feel generally more fulfilled in life and satisfied overall. So 7 of Cups in the upright is really assessing your feelings. That's going to be a part of this process. In order for us to get to the 9, we have to go through the 7 and the 8. Well, all of the numbers from 1 to 9. And we have to go through all of those motions and all of those emotions and all of those emotional checkpoints in order for us to really understand what's going to bring us to that ultimate fulfillment, what's going to really allow us to express ourselves in an emotionally safe way, to be able to understand our emotions from a deep subconscious level, because this can be about assessing your dreams, assessing your beliefs, assessing how you show up and why you make the decisions that you do, looking at your achievements and just looking at how you're emotionally responding to those things. So this is sort of getting lost in all of the emotions so that you can remove the illusions of what you thought you were, what you thought you could be, especially as it pertains to a specific environment or a specific person, and understanding that you are only a small part of that particular situation and that you can only affect so much. So there's sort of an emotional attachment and detachment that happens with the 7 of Cups, where you're really looking at that from an outsider's perspective and understanding, how do I feel about this and why? And is this a dream that I have, or is this something that I'm just following because it's what people thought I should do, or it's something that was kind of laid out for me? And then it's also really looking at your dreams and why you have those dreams, and removing everything that's not yours, essentially, to come to a place where you fully understand what's working, what's not, what's no longer serving you. And kind of tapping into those deeper emotions, not just the surface level ones. So you may get lost in this a little bit for a time, but this is important. I think that has to do with that, because there's some information or there's some messages that certain emotions or feelings are trying to clarify or bring to the light. So it's going to take some time as you kind of parse through those and come to terms with some and letting go of some, That could be what this Five of Cups is that you finally understand what those things are. Maybe you're finally putting an end to some situation and moving on. So you've moved through this grieving period of really, I want to say, having gratitude for these experiences because it allowed you to step into the new opportunities that exist for you in the very near future. But if we hang on to this too long, if we get caught up in the illusion of maybe what the situation could always be in perpetuity, then we rob ourselves of really allowing new opportunities to come in because we're so stuck on what this could be, the potential of something or someone. And then we have the Hermit card in the reverse, which is this energy of needing to go within. Maybe there has been a fear of that before, but it could be because you're not in the appropriate environment to do so, to really hear yourself think, to really understand that inner wisdom that's trying to come through. Because maybe there's a lot going on in the external world that is preventing you from stepping into that Hermit energy. But I feel the Hermit is going to be important to cut out the noise, to get above and beyond the current challenges, and to really root yourself down into what it is you need, what it is you feel, what is that inner wisdom telling you, and maybe what it has always told you. Maybe reflecting and introspecting on this situation, how you got here and how you would like to move forward with great intention and knowledge that you were gaining from this. And it's interesting that these two figures are sort of standing in the same way. So this, to me, this processing of loss, processing of these spilled cups of what will never be again and what may never was, I feel is going to really trigger this Hermit to turn upright and allow you to really go deeper within, to understand things from an individual point of view rather than seeing an external storyline or experience. You're going within to really understand yourself in this situation. And there's some inner wisdom that's trying to come through. There's some inner guidance that I feel you're going to start to follow based on this experience. But it's being open to that. So I'm not sure if, because it's in reverse, it's currently a blocked energy and will get unlocked as you kind of move through these emotions, or you are already moving through this. So you could already be on your way. And this insight and this letting go is going to help you open up to the fulfillment and possibly the love that you are looking for here. So let's take a peek at some final oracle cards. For Soul Path 3, thank you. Oh, look at that. Spirit's so good tonight. I'm not sure if I'm delivering their messages in the most clear way, but the cards are getting pretty confirmatory. Is that a word? That we're on the right track here. Okay. We talked about the Hermit, and here's the Hermit again. Guide the illuminated path, and we have a number 21 here. So this is this Hermit energy of being your own guide, of guiding yourself, of not needing other people's confirmation or validation to know that you're on the right track. And it's interesting that I had some doubts and judgments about what I was communicating in these messages, and if I was doing a fair job, and needing that validation from Spirit, and Spirit is validating me with some of the cards that are coming out and the synchronicities in them. But I feel like you're doing this for yourself, and you're going to start to see very similar things and experiences on your path, and you're going to start following what is true within you based on these new feelings that you're uncovering and the fulfillment that you're stepping into. So, River of Blessings. Releasing constraints. Yeah, that's what you're doing. You're releasing yourself from the constraints of whatever this situation might be that you find yourself in. And in releasing those constraints, I feel, these opportunities and this inner wisdom is going to come forward, because I feel, and that could be why the Hermit is in reverse, is that it is not able to come forward until the constraints have been released and until you find a sense of emotional safety, or even physical safety or energetic safety, where you feel like you can really open up to the experience of exploring your emotions, of feeling all of those emotions and understanding them on a deeper level, understanding what it is you need emotionally, what it is that you want, and what makes you feel emotionally safe as well. So releasing the constraints of what's going on and cutting yourself off of what no longer serves. That could be emotional, or that could be within the home or the work situation, is going to allow you to hear your own thoughts, your own feelings, and that will be your guiding light to the new opportunities that are awaiting you. So this is what I have for you, Soul Path 3. I hope these messages resonated with you tonight. Feel free to let me know in the comments what did. I always love to hear that. And with gratitude, I'm sending you my love. Stay curious, and I'll see you in your next reading.